1 year ago, I started YouTube at 55 with no tech background, no fancy setup, and honestly, no real idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to edit, I didn't understand YouTube, and I didn't know what would work, or if anyone would even care. And for a while, it felt like nobody did. I was making videos, uploading them, checking the numbers, and wondering all the time if I was just talking to myself on the internet. But I kept going. And after 365 days on YouTube, I can tell you this. The biggest thing that changed was not my subscriber count. It wasn't one video getting more views. It wasn't learning how to use a new piece of software. The biggest thing that changed was me.
And why I started this YouTube channel, to help other people, to help people just like me who have no experience. I'm teaching myself how to do hard things. And a month ago, I'm with it. It's really cool. It's really cool that somebody like me can figure this out. And I'm going to show you all the cool things that I'm figuring out too. Starting a channel, making a video, editing.
Because somewhere in the middle of making videos that almost nobody watched, learning tools that I thought I was too old to understand, and trying to figure out what I was even building, I realized I was becoming creative. I was becoming useful in a new way. I was becoming braver. And I was taking my lived experience and sharing who I was becoming with the world. So today, I want to look back on my first year on YouTube, why I started, what I had to overcome, what I learned, what surprised me, and why I think starting YouTube later in life might be one of the most powerful things that you can do. Hi, I'm Kathy, and I started YouTube at 55. I help beginners over 50 start YouTube, use simple AI tools, understand YouTube Studio, and build confidence without feeling overwhelmed. And if you're sitting there wondering if it's too late for you to start, I hope this video helps you see what can happen in 1 year. Not overnight and not instantly, but one video at a time. I want to start with why I started, because I didn't start YouTube because I had some big perfect plan. And I didn't start because I felt confident. I didn't start because I thought, oh, I'm going to be great at this. I started because I needed something to look forward to. I needed something that felt like it belonged to me. I had spent so much of my life working hard, managing other people, taking care of things, and getting through the day, and just doing what had to be done. And somewhere along the way, I think I stopped thinking about beginnings. I started thinking more about what was winding down than what was starting. And that's a scary place to be, because when you get to be in your 50s, people can make you feel like your story is supposed to get smaller, like you're supposed to stop learning, stop trying, stop wanting new things. But I didn't want to be done becoming, so I started a YouTube channel. And at first, I had to overcome the same thing a lot of people over 50 have to overcome. The voice in your head that says, who would even want to listen to me? I'm not interesting. I'm not techie. I don't know how any of this stuff works. And those thoughts can be really loud, especially when you post a video and hardly anyone watches. Because in the beginning, that's what happens for most of us. You make a video, you spend hours on it, and you think, maybe this will be the one. And then it gets like 8 views. And you think, okay, well, maybe nobody cares. And I had to learn how to keep making videos, even when it felt like I was just making them for myself. Because for a while, it kind of was. I was learning in public. I was practicing. I was figuring out how to talk on camera. I was figuring out what I cared about. I was figuring out how to make a video from beginning to end. And that matters because when nobody is watching yet, you're not wasting your time. You're building the person who will be ready when people do start watching. This is one of the biggest things that I learned. The quiet videos still count. The videos that don't take off still count. The videos that barely get any views, they still teach you something. Every time you record, you learn how to say something a little more clearly. And every time you edit, you learn what feels too long. Every time you make a thumbnail, you learn what catches your eye. And for every upload, you prove to yourself that you can finish something. And that is not nothing. In my first year, I had to learn technology that honestly would have overwhelmed me not that long ago. I taught myself how to edit. I learned how to use iMovie. I learned how to make thumbnails. I learned how to read YouTube analytics a little better than I did in the beginning. I learned that YouTube Studio can feel like a control panel when you first look at it. But over time, you start to understand which numbers actually matter and which ones that you can just stop obsessing over. I learned how to use AI tools like ChatGPT and Claude to help me think through ideas. And I learned how to connect ideas together. I learned how to build a playlist, and recently I just learned how to make a series. I even learned how to create digital products, and that one still kind of amazes me, because if you would have told me a year ago that I would create and sell digital products from my own ideas, I seriously would not have believed you. I made simple resources to help beginner creators. I made a YouTube upload checklist, a teleprompter guide, things I created because I knew what it felt like to be confused. I knew what it felt like to look at YouTube and think, where do I even start? And that's where a lot of my content started to make sense. I wasn't just making videos about tools. I was making videos for the person who feels overwhelmed by the tools. And there's a difference. And that's another big thing I learned this year. Your best content usually does not come from trying to sound impressive. It comes from paying attention to what confused you, what helped you, what finally clicked, and what someone else might need explained in plain English. That's where your real voice is. Now, there was one video that changed a lot for me. One of my videos got over 44,000 views, and I've spent a lot of time trying to understand why. Not because I want to copy it exactly, but because I want to understand what connected. What made people click? What made them stay? What promise did it make? What problem did it solve? And I've tried to recreate that. I haven't fully done it yet, and that's humbling. Because one thing YouTube will teach you very quickly is that you cannot always force the result. You can study, you can improve, you can make better titles and better thumbnails, and you can structure the video better, but you still can't control everything. Sometimes the video catches and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the video you think is going to do well, it just sits there. Sometimes an older video starts growing months later. Sometimes the thing that changes your channel isn't the thing that you expected, and that can be really frustrating. But it's also part of the process. You learn to look at your content without taking every number personally, and that was hard for me, because in the beginning, every number felt like a judgment. Low views felt like rejection. Low click-through felt like failure. A dip in retention felt like proof that I was boring. But over time, I started learning that the numbers aren't there to hurt my feelings. They're there to give me clues. They're information. They're not my identity. That was a big shift for me. I also learned how to analyze content outside of my own channel. And this has been one of the most useful things that I've done. Not to copy people, not to steal their ideas, and not to become someone else, but to understand what's working. I started watching videos in other niches, and I asked myself, why did I keep watching? What did the title promise? What did the thumbnail make me feel? How did they structure the opening? Where did they create curiosity? How did they move from one point to the next? What made the video feel easy to watch? That changed the way I looked at content, and I stopped just consuming, and I started studying. And when you do that, you begin to see patterns. You see how a strong opening works. You see how a clear promise keeps people watching. You see how visual style matters. You see how a video can feel like it belongs in a bigger world. And then you can take that lesson and apply it to your own content in your own way. That's an important part. You aren't trying to copy someone else's voice. You're trying to learn the craft. And I think that's something that I didn't expect. I did not expect YouTube to make me feel creative. For a long time, I wouldn't have called myself a creative person. I thought creative people were other people, people who were artistic. People who knew how to design, people who could come up with beautiful ideas very easily. But after a year of making videos, I have to admit something. I am creative. I learned how to take an idea and turn it into a video. I learned how to build a thumbnail that communicates a feeling. I learned how to shape a script. I learned how to choose words, how to create a resource from something that I knew. I learned how to make something from nothing. And that's changed how I see myself. Not because I'm perfect at it, not because every video works or because I have everything figured out, but because I proved to myself that creativity isn't some magical thing only other people have. Creativity is a muscle. You can use it, you can practice it, you can get better. And sometimes you discover that it was there all along. You just didn't give it a place to go. That might be one of the biggest gifts that YouTube gave me this year. It gave my ideas somewhere to go. It gave my experience somewhere to go. It gave my voice somewhere to go. And slowly it started bringing people into my world, people from all over the world. That part still gets me. Because when I started, I was worried nobody would care. And now I get comments from people saying they feel encouraged. They feel less alone. They feel like maybe they can start too. They tell me they're over 50, 60, over 70, and that they've wanted to start a channel. They tell me that they thought they were too old. They tell me something I said helped them think differently. And that's what changed how I measure success. Because yes, views matter, titles and thumbnails matter, watch time matters. I'm still learning all of that. But at some point, I had to ask myself, what am I actually building here? Am I only chasing views, or am I building a place where people feel brave enough to begin? And that's when the meaning of this channel started to change for me. Because the real success isn't just that a video gets watched. It's that someone presses record because they finally believe they have something worth saying. It's someone leaving a comment saying, I needed this today. It's someone starting a channel at 60. It's someone trying AI for the first time. It's someone realizing they aren't too old, too late, or too awkward. That's the part that matters to me. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring things out. I'm still trying to understand why one video took off and another one didn't. I'm still trying to improve my titles and thumbnails. And I'm trying to get better at storytelling. But I'm not the same person I was 365 days ago. And that's the point. A year ago, I was hoping maybe I could do this. Now I know I can keep learning. A year ago, I was afraid nobody would listen. Now I know the right people will. A year ago, I thought I had to understand everything before I started. Now I know starting is how you understand. A year ago, I thought maybe I was too late. Now I know I was just at the beginning of something new. And if you're watching this because part of you wants to start YouTube or start creating or build something of your own, I want to tell you something. You don't need to know what it will become. You don't need to have the whole plan, and you don't need to be confident. You just need to start. Even if it feels imperfect at first, start messy, start small. Start with the phone you already have. Start with one idea, with one person that you want to help. Start before anyone is watching, because the version of you who knows what they're doing doesn't appear before you start. They're built by starting, video by video, mistake by mistake, lesson by lesson. 1 year later, you might not have a channel. You might have proof that you're still becoming. And that's worth more than I can explain. So what happened after I tried YouTube for 365 days? I learned new technology. I built a community. I learned how to study content. I created digital products. I became more creative. I helped people I never would have reached otherwise. And most of all, I stopped waiting for permission to become someone new. I'm Kathy. I started YouTube at 55. And if you've been waiting for a sign to start, maybe this is it. Maybe you don't have to know where it will lead. You just have to give yourself 1 year to find out.